morning. Reason why I selected this location for the press conference is to demonstrate to the residents who live in this vicinity that the Passaic Valley Water Commission is working hard to get water back up in this area that has been severely affected. What we can confirm from Passaic Valley Water Commission is that a majority of Paterson residents do have water. In fact, people are having their water restored as a part of what's happening here and other measures that are being taken. Our executive director will elaborate later on multiple measures that are being taken to get not only this area, but some other sections in the north side to have their water restored. But I want to speak on behalf of the two mayors that are here. And quite frankly, Mayor Johnson from Halden, myself, we are not engineers. We're not plumbers. We're not experts in this area. But what we are communicators. And what we're doing is communicating to our communities through the experts. So whatever messages that we receive, we relay to you, our residents. We're also coordinators. So we coordinate efforts to provide relief for our residents as well. Based on whatever we receive from Passaic Valley Water Commission, we make our decisions according to what we're receiving from the experts. For example, we have established portable toilets so that people can seek relief. And water is being distributed in both of our municipalities as well. Showers are available not too far from here at Kennedy High School. So I want everyone to know that the two leaders of the respective municipalities, Halden and Paterson, are doing their best to communicate to you and coordinate our efforts to alleviate the inconvenience. We do understand the pain and the frustration. We are frustrated ourselves. But rest assured, we're doing our best to communicate and coordinate based on the information that we receive in timely fashion. So without any further ado, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to ask our Executive Director of the Passaic Valley Water Commission, Jim Mueller, to update us on where we are in this operation. Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good morning, everyone. So here's where we are. Yesterday, as I said at the press conference, I paused the work because of safety issues. We had excavated the hole too deep. It was getting too deep, and it was right next to a 50-foot retaining wall near Hinchcliffe Stadium. So I needed to pause that. What we've done is created a new safety plan yesterday, and we started backfilling that hole, and we've pivoted to, we're going to be replacing the pipe on the 24-inch line and the 30-inch line. That pipe has been identified. We're going to start moving it in today, and we're going to start making those connections either later today or early this morning. A lot of welding, a lot of valves we have to locate as well, so there's still some work to do there. But my goal is to have at least one pipeline recharged by tomorrow, and possibly two by the end of day. That is the goal right now that we continue to work toward with our contractor and my engineers and myself. In the meantime, we're still trying to get water to where it's not. So as I was just reviewing with the mayors, we have seen an improvement in water pressure in a large part of the area. There's still the higher points over on Granite Ave and Chamberlain where we still do not have water, and we're still working to get water in there. The pump you hear behind me, we started that last night. Took quite better part of the day to get that working, but that started moving water into the area, which is good. So what we're hearing is people can now flush toilets and take showers. We're still in a boil water advisory as we were yesterday. That will remain into effect until further notice. We are working potentially to take parts of the system out of that, but that still remains to be seen, and we're working closely with New Jersey DP on that. That's probably the best update I have right now, unless there's questions. Hi, Pat. Right, so the water on this side of the street comes from what we call a different gradient, comes from the Levine Reservoir, and on the other side of the street that we're pumping to, and you can see the hose behind me, that's going into the new street gradient. So it's not taking from the same area and like moving it around, it's taking it from a different area that does not have any issues, has been unimpacted by the incident, and we're moving water into this area. And we've been doing that since last night. It is a slow operation. This part of our distribution system has been dry for quite a few days. So the first point is we introduce water, we do it slowly to get the air out. There's air trapped in the system. If we ramped up too quickly, we could actually cause more damage than good, cause more harm than good, and potentially break pipes, which is not what we want to do in the system. So we've been ramping up slowly overnight, and we're now throttling the pump up to even get more flow into the area. We're also looking at continuing to look at tanker trucks and wheeling them around into the area. So we are shrinking the impacted area. It is slow because of the widespread nature of the incident, but we continue to work on that. We are seeing improvements. Again, myself and Mayor Sayegh talked about it last night and earlier this morning. People shouldn't be washing cars. People shouldn't be watering lawns. When they get water back, I know it's what you want to do because the grass is brown or maybe the car is dirty. Please refrain from doing that because it prevents water from getting to the higher point areas where it needs to be. And I know Mayor Sayegh is putting certain things in, but I'll let him talk about that in terms of those kind of restrictions. Go ahead. So that's a little harder to estimate, but I'll give you between, say, 2/3 and 75% of Paterson at least has some water. We're still in a boil water. There's still widespread areas of low pressure, fire suppression and whatnot. We're working very closely with the fire department, so we're still vulnerable. But the first goal there is for them to flush toilets, be able to take a shower. And maybe 2/3 to 75% of the city has that. We're still working on that final third to 25% to get water to where it needs to be. And we're going to be working throughout the day. And like I said, tomorrow I'm looking to recharge at least one line, which gets us back into business, and potentially the second line, which would basically almost get us back to normal. At this point, I mean, it is speculation because, again, we're adapting to conditions as they come about. We did close 70 or 80 valves to try to isolate that leak. We now have to systematically and methodically do it in the right way, reopen those valves. So these are plans that this is actually what's happening today, is getting ahead of that. We also have to communicate with our sister, North Haledon and Haledon, the Manchester MUA, in terms of timing for them. So we start moving water that way. We have to do it by gravity first because there's air entrapped in the system. So again, it's a bit of a slow recovery, but I do intend to have at least one line recharged tomorrow, hopefully two, and get us back more into normalcy. I'll have more of an update obviously tomorrow. One of the reasons why this has been so slow, just to reiterate, because believe me, we all wish this was done already, and I know I speak for everybody that we wish this hadn't happened at all. It's a very inaccessible area. We can't even have multiple crews with multiple pieces of equipment working concurrently because it's on a hill with like a 50-foot area that you can work in. You have these big machines, there's room for one. Right? You don't have room for three, kind of working with dump trucks and moving things in and out. Very inaccessible area. Again, the contractor's doing everything they can. The Hinchcliffe and the retaining wall has been an issue. We're working through it. We're backfilling that hole so we can now work safely, more shallow, and just start connecting new pipe. So that's our goal now. Go ahead, Rich. Not at all. Nope, we have not. No, and I can let Mayor Johnson speak more to that, but no.
Repeat the question.
So the question was, has water been restored to North Haledon or Haledon? And the answer was no. Prospect Park is being fed through two connections from Hawthorne. That is making a positive impact. They're still in boil water, but the pressure has been increased there because of the Hawthorne connections. Very much appreciate our sister utility at Hawthorne for working with us and providing that. Ridgewood has also implemented water restrictions and is taking 1 million gallons per day less from Hawthorne so they can provide it to North Haledon Prospect Park. We're hoping that trickles into North Haledon and Haledon. Again, there's a lot of concurrent paths here. Go ahead. Correct. So water distribution will remain open. Today we're at North 7th and Oxford. I can let Troy Ayers, North 8th and Oxford, I'm sorry. And I can let Troy Ayers speak more to the location. Showers, bathrooms, as the mayor said. Is there any more questions for me on the infrastructure piece? Go ahead, Pat. Correct. So it's a great question. So Pat's question was, what happened? Friday we had a large break. We thought we'd be done in 24 hours. We weren't, and what's changed now to be able to effectuate this? So what we were trying to do is dig down and find the pipe. We thought it was much shallower because we had done work in this area before, not in the exact area, maybe 300 feet away. Pipe was shallower, so we thought 14 feet down we will dig. That was not that complex. The pipe looks like it's probably 25 or 30 feet down, and with the retaining wall and the narrow area we're working in, that became a complete. It wasn't even worth it. It would have taken me about a week to just secure the site to do more work. So that's when we pivoted yesterday and said that that's not what we're going to do. So they've been backfilling that 25 foot excavation. We can't just leave it open. We need to backfill. That's what they've been doing for the last day. We've also been locating the other two shallower areas of the pipes. We've been locating those. They're located. And I think what changed was we switched from trying to find the pipe and repair it to abandon the pipes, scale back to where we know the pipes are shallower, and just connect two new pipelines, which is what we're doing now. Yep, 24 inch and the 30 inch, they'll both have new connections. For about 300 feet, 400 feet, that's about the area. So we're not replacing the whole line. There's still, maybe 10,000 feet or 5,000 feet of 140-year-old water main, but we're going to replace this key area where the vulnerability was. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right over here. Yep.
And so that's part of the one third of the city that's not.
Yeah, I mean, and those are estimates. I wish I had a better. We're just going through the map of where our PSI pressure gauges are and whatnot with the fire department as well, because that's really critical. Just trying to work on fire suppression, but that's just an estimate right now. That you could as a range. So to Pat's question, it's a great follow-up. One of the complexities was we couldn't see what was broken, right? And it's 30 feet. We still don't have eyes on it. We're basically abandoning it. The way we had to turn those 80 valves in the system, and those valves are 100 to 120 years old as well. So that's probably the valve that made the difference a couple days ago, where I could say we've drastically isolated the leak, was 110 years old and was worked 4 times over the course of 4 days for it to finally move and close. So that's part of the complication is the system. It doesn't respond when you want it to, and it's because these are older valves. So one of the complexities of that is now we have to go back out those 70 or 80 valves. We're now systematically looking at what do we have to open as we might isolate a line and backfeed. What do we have to open to make sure we're optimizing that? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, 24-inch line and a 30-inch line. And actually, when this pump went on, we started to get leakage back. That's why we still have valve work to do. It's very complex. The other thing is when we were turning the valves Friday, Saturday, even through Monday, this area wasn't responding the way we thought it would. So I don't know if you recall, but I did say a few days ago, we suspect there's an interconnection between these lines that we were not aware of on a plan, don't even know where that is, and could not find a valve for it. So they're connected somehow. So that's why both lines are interacting in a way we didn't expect. We didn't have plans for. There was nothing telling us saying that's what would happen. We learned that as we were turning these 70 or 80 valves. And that's also complicating it where we have to isolate both lines and now we're just abandoning and we're going to replace about 300 or 400 foot of each line. They're throughout the system. Right. No, I wish. No, yeah. I mean, one of the complicated things too is when paving occurs, and some of the, I don't know if you can still hear me. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Some of these valves were installed 110 years ago. They've been buried. There's overgrowth on them. There's paving. They can be paved over. So it sounds easy. Like, why don't you just turn 70 valves? That would take half a day, right? Just locating them, finding them. We have drawings, we have GIS, but they're not where we think they are, or they're buried under. The valve that actually made the difference, Mark Romaine, who's been he's an amazing person. He's worked for this company for 40 years, either as a full-time employee or now as a contract. He retired, but then he came back under contract. He's absolutely amazing. The valve that made the difference a couple days ago He had to get a bolt cutter, cut through a chain link fence, and hop an 8-foot wall to go finally find that. And that led us to finally just isolating the leak with a valve. So he'd be a great person to interview after this. He's on vacation right now, but he's on calls with us all the time. But he really helped make this happen. That's just an example of the difficulty of accessing some of the aged infrastructure over time. 110-year-old valve, a lot happens in 100 years. A lot should happen in 100 years, but that doesn't help where we are. Go ahead, Rich. Oh, fully restored? We're not fully restored. So we are absolutely not fully restored. In Paterson, in Prospect Park, in North Haledon and Haledon, it's not fully restored at all. Well, I have businesses contacting me all the time, laundromats, for instance, who use a lot of water. They're giving me pressure readings, which I appreciate. They did see an increase, so that's real. That's on the ground, what they're seeing. Then it's somewhat sporadic, depending as we're putting things on and moving water around. So we are in touch with businesses. So no, all businesses are not closed, but they do have water tankers on standby, which at a cost, because they need to stay in business. So we're trying to get water to them as soon as we can. So like I said, 2/3 to 75% of the people are getting the pressure back where they should be in that situation. So the question was, are most people able to flush toilets or take showers? I'd say 2/3 to 75% would be in that, and that's a broad, might be a little more. But I don't think it's less than 2/3. That's the best I can give you right now. I think that's fair, right? That we're still working at, and that's just in Paterson and Prospect Park. Well, Prospect Park has water. That's just kind of in Paterson. I think North Haledon and Haledon might be in worse shape in certain instances. Again, we're trying to do everything we can to get them water, and that's the best I have right now. But tomorrow is when I'm hoping to have at least one line recharged, that 24-inch, or it might even be the 30. It really depends on how we react and in the field, and possibly both lines recharged tomorrow. I think that's a longer shot. I'm looking at one, which would help out tremendously. Turn over to Mayor Sayegh.
And not only am I in constant communication with the executive director, Jim Mueller, I'm in constant communication with my constituents. So for example, today, a couple on Maitland Avenue who hadn't had water told me this morning they can flush their toilet. And then I had another resident on Emerson tell me that she couldn't flush her toilet yesterday, but now she can. So Passaic Valley Water Commission is reducing the number of people that don't have any water at all. So there is water pressure. And I'm sure it is an outcome of what's happening right here, a result of the the measures that are being taken right here. But I'd like to hear from another mayor who's been impacted, who's coordinating and communicating with his constituents as well, Mayor of Haledon, Michael Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor.
Hello, everyone. I'd just like to say thank you to Passaic Valley, Jim, Joe, Brian, Mayor Sayegh, the mayors from all other towns, Haledon, North Haledon, Prospect Park. It has been very tough. It's been very rough. We're entering our 5th day of dealing with this, and the efforts to get water to our residents has been very rough, and it's been tough. Our residents are pretty much at wit's end, and we can understand that. You go from last week having access to drinking water and taking a shower to having no water, none whatsoever at all. But from where we were then and where we are now, there have been some reports of residents letting us know that they do have some pressure, just enough to be able to flush their toilets, as you heard. Again, our problem is just a pressure problem. And we thank the Passaic Valley Water Commission again for allowing us to tap into Wayne. We tapped into Wayne. There's a hydrant-to-hydrant connection there, and they've been able to pressurize the system so much so that folks can just pretty much flush their toilets. We do have the water distribution sites still going on. One had to shut down to regroup. That was at 283 Belmont Avenue. We're not going to be using them for at least maybe a couple of days. We're going to see how we're doing right now. We're using 83 Rose Street, which is our recreation center, and 70 Church Street, Manchester Regional High School. We have 2 tankers there that was provided by Passaic Valley Water Commission, and both tankers have 6,000 gallons of water. Through the efforts of getting jugs, free jugs to our residents. They can bring their jugs back to the tankers and get them refilled. We have 2 per day at this time. Once the tanker is empty, we'll get it refilled again. We do have showers at the recreation center. So we have 4 portable closed-in showers that was provided by the Salvation Army. We have water that's been coming in from New Hope Church, Brain Stone Industry, Malian Farm. So many people have been donating water, and not to mention Passaic Valley Water. So again, our issue is a pressure issue. We're just waiting for more residents to let us know that they're getting pressure and they're able to at least take a shower at this point. But we do have bottles of water from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the Recreation Center, and at Church Street it'll be from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come and get your water. We do see some light at the end of the tunnel. We're just waiting for the all clear, and then we can go ahead on and gradually get some increase in that pressure. And of course, as Jim has alluded, the boil water advisory is still in effect until we get the all clear there. Continue to do those efforts before you use the water. But again, I can't thank our residents enough for being as patient as possible. Now, I want to tell you too, we done been called every name in the book, I'm pretty sure. But again, we're not engineers. The professionals are doing the best that they can with the situation that they have been dealt with. Now, a lot of questions have been asked to the average person like myself who does not know the infrastructure, what it entails to do what they've been doing, having to reach a solution and then it becomes a problem, and just trying to get through this the best way that we can. But just know that we're still doing what we have to do, providing water, drinking water, and we also have a tanker, I forgot to mention, at 510 Belmont Avenue at our municipal building. There's a tanker for flushable water so that you can just grab your pails and buckets, take that home to flush your toilets. That's all I have for now, and thank you again. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. And to dovetail on what Mayor Johnson said as far as what we're doing for our residents to provide relief, not too far from here, up the road, Kennedy High School still remains our comfort station. So people can come and take a shower. People can use the portable toilet here as well. There's also water being distributed here, and there's water being distributed through the auspices of the Office of Emergency Management and Passaic Valley Water Commission, North 8th and Oxford. We also have water tanks that have been provided by the Passaic Valley Water Commission. One is situated at Presidential Boulevard, and the other now is at Brook Slope, which is right near Redwood Village as well, areas that have been impacted that don't have water as of yet. But to elaborate a little further on our coordination here to help provide relief for our residents is our Office of Emergency Management Coordinator, Troy Ayers.
Good morning, everybody. So I just want to clear the air about the water distribution that takes place at North 8th and Oxford Street. Every bottle of water comes from Passaic Valley Water, Paterson, and the Office of Emergency Management. Every bottle of water. Whitecap, Poland Spring, whatever it is. We sent the tankers to Brook Slope and Presidential so we could flush toilets. Then we deliver pallets of water to those individuals in those areas so they could drink water. Because I don't want to give you a case of water and you got to flush half down the toilet. That doesn't help. Also, we reached out to Director Billy Rodriguez and we enlisted the DPW to go to every senior housing and drop off pallets of water. The drive-up line is estimating a 2-minute wait. So you don't even have to drive to ShopRite. You drive to us, we better than ShopRite. We don't charge you. We'll be there every day until we run out of water. And trust me, I keep challenging everybody to make us run out of water because we keep shipping it in. I love everybody. We work with you, Patterson. I know it's your emotional time. I'm a Pattersonian, and I keep on working hard every day for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now for any media outlet that needs this in Spanish, Councilman Luis A. Velez can relay the message. Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, thank you to the Fire Department, Water Commission, mayors, and also OEM for the effort to bring the relief to the residents and your residents in your city. Damas y caballeros, muchas personas se preguntaban qué es lo que hacíamos aquí. Y lo primero que pensaron es que había una avería de tubería, la cual pues creaba más problemas. So, buenas noticias es que se está trabajando con pompas para traer agua de un lugar para suplir a esta parte alta de la ciudad de Paterson en este lado. Se ha reportado de que residente, inclusive un residente aquí al frente dijo que tiene presión de agua. Estaba preocupada por qué estábamos aquí. Esa es la noticia. Se está trabajando traer el agua de un lado para traerla al otro, igual que también se ha conectado algunas tuberías, especialmente como lo que está viendo aquí, supliendo del área de Wayne para el área de Passaic Park y Heldon, que eso es importante. Lo único que le pedimos a la comunidad, que sabemos que en tiempo de política todo el mundo hace fiesta, pero en este momento estamos haciendo lo humanitario para trabajar juntos para que los residentes de Paterson, Heldon, Proper Park, inclusive afuera de Paterson, reciban el apreciado líquido como el agua. Mantenga paciencia, tenga la oportunidad de buscar su agua donde dijeron que lo estaban disponible. Cuando venía por el camino, el camión de suministro de agua potable para usarla estaba llegando al Presidential Boulevard, y yo creo que eso es lo que más importa. Nosotros tenemos 10 dedos. Es fácil apuntar uno y 9 apuntarlo a nosotros. Oremos para que los empleados de la Water Commission estén a salvo, también como nuestros empleados de los bomberos y la policía, para que este problema sea resuelto y que podamos tener agua potable. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was saying in Spanish that let's keep on praying for your crew, the fire department, and everyone that is involved to bring this water back, because that's what we need. Positivity and prayers to be able to bring that precious resource that we need is water. So, and this is a great news, what happened here. People was asking, what's going on? Do we have another water break over here? And no, this is the plan that they have is going to work, and it's going to work for the city of Paterson. God bless you all.
So in summary, the Passaic Valley Water Commission is taking measures to increase water pressure, and as a result, there's an increase in the number of people that have access to water. It still may be low pressure, but it is better than it was yesterday. Our focus is on the remainder of residents that do not have water. And that's why Passaic Valley Water Commission is focusing all of their efforts in areas like this one, so that we can go up the hill to Hillcrest, the north side, Redwood Village, Haledon, and the other affected municipalities to get them water. But once again, to let everyone know, as far as two mayors are concerned, we communicate and we're coordinating. That's exactly what we'll continue to do. Once we have information, we'll relay it to you, and accordingly, we will coordinate efforts to make sure that anyone that still is impacted and is that doesn't have any access to water gets relief. That's what we're here for. Thank you very much for joining us.